Hi there, welcome and thanks for choosing Peakflo to begin your collections automation journey. We're excited to get you on board to our platform and help your business save time and money. So let's get started. In this video, we will teach you how to import your customer data into Peakflo. Suppose you don't have accounting software and want to manually create or upload your customer data. Then you can jump straight to 1 minute 29 seconds mark of this video. Now let's look at how to integrate your accounting software with Peakflo. To begin, click the button Import Data that's right below this video. If you're using Oracle NetSuite, click on Set up a meeting to talk to our NetSuite onboarding expert to connect your NetSuite in a few simple steps and get started. If you're using any other listed accounting software, click on Connect to proceed ahead. After clicking Connect, log into your accounting software by entering your registered email ID and password. Once you've logged in, authorize the integration with your accounting software by clicking Allow Access. Now you can see the synchronization between your accounting software and Peakflo is active. Do keep in mind that synchronization can take anywhere from 30 minutes to a week depending on the volume of data. So this is how you connect your accounting software with Peakflo. In case if you currently don't use any accounting software and want to add your customers to Peakflo one by one, you can upload their data in a few simple steps. We suggest this option for users who wish to start using Peakflo with fewer customers. Go to Customers and click Create Customers. In the Add Customer Info tab, enter your customer's company name. Since you are the first member of the team to sign up, you will be assigned the account manager to this customer by default. In the next onboarding video, you will learn how to add team members and assign customers to them. Moving on, select whether you'd prefer to add the customers to the special customers workflow or the general customers workflow. Workflow helps streamline your entire account receivable process by eliminating mundane tasks, triggering personalized multi-channel reminders, and keeping all the stakeholders aligned. You will learn more about workflows on the fourth onboarding step. You can always move customers between different workflows anytime. Once you've selected a workflow, define customer ID and press enter. The customer ID can be a number you've already set in place for them in your system, or it can be a new number. The customer ID helps avoid creating duplicate customers entries with similar names. Next, define the payment terms for your customers in terms of the credit period offered. It can be 15 days, 30 days, or any number of days. In case if you don't have any payment terms with this customer, you can enter 0. Suppose you have additional data or information about the customer you want to capture. In that case, you can enter them with the notes field. Lastly, define a language for your customer's payer portal between English, Malay, Bahasa Indonesia, or Tagalog. The customer payer portal is a unique accounts payable portal that allows customers to view their invoices, raise disputes, and conveniently pay all their outstanding invoices. Once you've entered the customer info details, please move to the next tab. Enter the address details and click Save. If you go to the customers page, you can see your customer added to your account. Then using the same step, you can add the other customers. But what if you have a high volume of customers and don't have accounting software to perform integration? Well, you can manually import your customer data into Peakflo in a few steps. Go to Settings and click Mass Upload Customer Names. Next, click the link below Mass Upload Customer Names button. This link takes you to our Help Center article that explains how to upload your customer's name, which is the first step in manually importing your customer data. On this page, you will find a downloadable spreadsheet template. So go ahead, click and download a copy of the spreadsheet in XLSX or CSV format. In this spreadsheet, you will have to enter the customer ID, customer name, and the account manager's email address to be assigned to the customer. The customer ID can be a number you've already set in place for the customer in your system, or it can be a new number. The customer ID helps avoid creating duplicate customers entries with similar names. In the customer name column, enter the company name of your customer. Since we haven't invited any of your team members to Peakflo yet, enter your email ID in the account manager email field. In the upcoming onboarding steps, you will learn to reassign the customer to a different team member. Once you've entered all the details, delete the mandatory and field description column to avoid errors during the file upload. Now click the Mass Upload Customer Names button and upload the spreadsheet. Once uploaded, wait for about 15 seconds for the status to change from initial. If the status is marked as completed, it means the customer names are successfully uploaded. If the status is displayed as completed with errors, click over the status to view the list of errors. In the upload details box, you will find the list of errors, the line numbers, to help you quickly identify them on the spreadsheet. If the error messages must be a valid email, check if the entered email address has any typographical errors. If you didn't delete the mandatory field in description row, this error could also appear. If the error messages can't find account manager by email, ensure you've entered the same email address that's logged into Peakflo. If the error message is not allowed to be empty or does not contain required values, check if you've left any fields empty under the mandatory columns. Once you fix the errors, rename and re-upload the spreadsheet to complete a successful file upload, which will be marked with the status completed. Next, let's move on to mass uploading the customer contact details. Mass uploading customer contact details is the first step towards unlocking your collections automation journey. Similar to the previous step, go to Settings and select Mass Upload Customer Contacts. Now click the link below the Mass Upload Customer Contact button. This link takes you to a Help Center article that explains you how to upload your customer contact. On this page, you can find a template for the contact file. Download the spreadsheet template in the XLSX or CSV format. Now let's start filling the fields in the sheet. In the customer ID row, copy and paste the same customer IDs you used in the previous step. Next, enter the customer's contact email address, title, and name details. When entering the phone number, ensure it has a country code prefix. For example, if your country code is +49, add +49 before your phone number, that is your country code. After entering the phone number, enter the position held by the contact at their organization. If you add the contact for a team like finance, you can enter the position as the finance team. The Is Main Contact column helps you specify which person in the company is your primary point of contact for invoice follow-up. This field can also be used to define the escalation logic. For example, early in the follow-up process, reminders will only be sent to the main customer contact, such as the finance team or accounts payable executive in your customer's organization. However, later in the follow-up process, reminders can be sent to all senior members in your customer's organization, like the managing director, CEO, or COO. If you want this contact in your customer organization to be a primary contact, or if this customer organization has only one contact, mark this contact as yes in the Is Main Contact column. If you want to add contacts to your customer organization but don't want them to be the primary contact, mark this column as no for such contacts. Now let's move ahead as you've captured all the details required to mass upload the customer contacts. Before uploading the spreadsheet, don't forget to delete the mandatory and field description columns. The spreadsheet should look like this before it's ready to upload. Now go to Settings and select Mass Upload Customer Contacts. Select the button Mass Upload Customer Contact to upload the spreadsheet. Once uploaded, wait for about 15 seconds for the status to change from initial. If the status is marked as completed, it means the customer contact successfully uploaded. If the status is displayed as completed with errors, click over the status to view the list of errors. In the Upload Details box, you will find a list of errors similar to the errors shown during the Mass Upload Customer Names part. Once you fix the errors on the spreadsheet, rename the spreadsheet and upload it again to complete the process. With one last step, let's look at mass uploading customer invoices. Mass uploading customer invoices eliminates the spreadsheet works and sets you up with the detailed out-of-the-box reports. You can review customer timelines to stay up to date with all of your accounts receivable, get full transparency on aging balance, set up financial KPIs and the course of action for each customer. Now let's get started by selecting settings, and mass uploading customer invoices. First, click the link below the mass upload invoices button. This link takes you to a help center article that explains you how to upload the customer contacts. On this page, you can find a sample contact file template. Download the spreadsheet in XLSX or CSV format. In the spreadsheet template, start copy-pasting the customer ID from the previous steps and move ahead to entering the invoice details against each customer ID. Once you've captured all the invoice details, delete the mandatory and the field description columns before uploading to avoid any errors. Your spreadsheet should look like this before it's ready to upload. Now go to settings and select mass upload customer invoice. Click the button mass upload invoices and upload the spreadsheet. Once uploaded, wait for about 15 seconds for the status to change from initial. If the status is marked as completed, it means the customer invoices are successfully uploaded. If the status is displayed as completed with errors, click over the status to view the list of errors. In the upload details box, you will find the list of errors similar to the errors shown during the mass upload customer names and customer contacts part. Once you fix the errors on the spreadsheet, rename the spreadsheet and upload it again to complete the process. Now you can go to your Peakflo account and check all the customer details and invoices captured. Now let's quickly check out how you can create and send invoices to your customers before moving to the second onboarding step. If you would like to customize your invoice, go to Settings and click Company. Here you can customize your invoices and customer payer portal by adding the company logo, adjusting the brand, font, and contrast font color. After customizing, select the checkbox and click Save Settings. We will show how the customized invoices and payer portal looks in the upcoming steps. Now let's get started with creating invoices. Go to Invoices and from the left of the navigation menu, click Add Invoice. Now enter the customer name to whom you want to create an invoice by selecting their name from the drop-down list. Next, select the due date you expect to receive the payment from the calendar. You can also choose to promise the pay date, which is the date your customer has promised to pay the invoice. Now let's create a line item that has to be invoiced. Click on the line items field, enter the type of line item you want to be invoiced and click Create Line Item. Once you've selected the Create New Item, the standard item box appears on the screen. The standard item box allows you to create and save items that can easily be added to the invoice from a drop-down list. Here, enter the name of the item to be invoiced once again and enter the item's prices before taxes. You can choose whether or not this item is eligible for discounts or not with the toggle switch. Next, if you'd like to add a tax to this item, click Add Tax and select Create New Tax from the drop-down. In the Add Tax section, enter the name, tax percentage in the amount field and toggle switch if it is discountable or not. Then select the item type from the drop-down. If there's any additional information, it can be added to the description. Once all those details are entered, click Save and Close. To add the newly created item to the invoice, click Add Item and select it from the drop-down. Now you can see the line item and its tax and total amount. If you want to include a discount to the line item, click Add Discount and select Create New Discount from the drop-down. In the standard discount box, you can enter the name of the discount, choose the discount type, enter its value in the amount field, and lastly, enter the discount duration. Once you've entered all the details, click Save and followed by Save and Close. Now you can see the newly created discount added to the invoice. To add more items, click Add Item and enter the name of the product or service or create a new item as explained earlier. You can delete or duplicate items by clicking on the three dots under the More. You can add information like payment method, terms, or a thank you message in the notes field. Once you've added all the details for the invoice, click Save. Once you've saved the invoice, you have the option to share it with the customer before approving it. You can do it by clicking on the three dots and selecting Send to Payer. Here in the send invoice email box, the recipients are automatically added, and you can add other recipients if required. Don't forget to tick off include invoices attachment, since recipient will be able to view the invoice only in PDF format and not through payer portal link inside the body of the email, since the invoice is yet to be approved. Once approved, it can be seen on the payer portal. After you've verified the email, click send email. Now the recipient will receive the email to view the attached invoice in PDF format. However, if they click on the online link, they won't find the invoice details in the payer portal, since the invoice is yet to be approved. Moving on, export invoice is the option to export all details related to the invoice, such as reminders, disputes, notes, files, and more. Here you have the option to export the invoice either in the XLSX or CSV format. Select the items you'd like to export and send the report straight to the email ID after clicking get the file. Now the recipient will receive the email to download the report, which will look like this. You can either generate a PDF format of the invoice, which looks like this, or even delete the invoice from your account. Once you've verified all the invoice details, click approve. Now that the invoice is approved, you can click on send to payer and send the final invoice to the customer, just the same way you did before its approval, but this time the customer can view and pay the invoice by clicking on the link. If you want to reverse the approved status of the invoice, you can do it by clicking mark as draft. Once selected, you can see the approval button appearing again. If the customer raises any invoice disputes, you can capture them by clicking raise dispute and selecting reason from the drop-down menu. You can also capture additional details about the dispute in the description box. Apart from creating and sending invoice to customers, you can add notes of any events or information associated with this invoice in the timeline tab by clicking on the post note button. This feature allows you to capture any information related to the invoice in a centralized location. The timeline tab is also where you can see the summary of all the actions, such as the email sent, disputes, and any messages received. Moving on to the files tab, you can attach a copy of the invoice or any other file related to the invoice as a reference here. And lastly, you can see the list of items added to the invoice under the items tab. Now that you've learned to send invoices, let's also look at how to capture payment details. Suppose you have received payment for this invoice outside Peakflo and not through the payer portal. Click mark as paid to start capturing the payment details manually. Do remember that payments made through Peakflo are updated automatically in your account. On the payments page of the invoice, you can enter details like when you received the payment, selecting the payment method that was used, adding a reference number, and also adding any notes if required. By default, the linked amount field captures the total amount of the invoice. If it matches with the total amount received, click save and close to continue. In case your customer has made a partial payment towards the invoice, enter the amount received and click save and close. Since you have received a partial payment, you can notice the difference in the outstanding amount row and amount row. If you had received a full payment, the value under outstanding amount would be 0. There's also another way to capture the payment details. Go to payments and click the option add new button. In the payment box, you can capture and map the payment to any of your customers. Now let's capture the payment details of the invoice created. Just like the previous step, enter the details required in each field. In the amount and linked amount field, enter the payer value you have received. In case your customer has made one payment that you want to apply across multiple invoices, you can do so easily by this method. Now click save and close. Now on the payments page, you will see the updated value of the total amount remaining against the invoice. Now that you've learned to import data and create an invoice, let's move to the next onboarding step, inviting team members. For more tips on getting started with Peakflo, check out our help portal at help.peakflo.co.